Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another podcast from Exiled Entertainment. I'm Terrence Russell,
I'm Colton Swartz.
I'm JT Van Dyke.
and we're here to talk about a topic that my colleague here had just brought up, the Saiyans versus the Green Lanterns.
And now this will be like the three, I think, strongest Green Lanterns, which would be Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner sucks. Hal Jordan, Kyle Rayner, and Jon Stewart, who
Against the three top Saiyans from DBZ, Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan.
which I think would be a good fight, purely on Green Lantern rings can do almost anything you picture as long as you focus. So, I mean, it would be a really good fight.
I don't see how they'd be able to focus with Goku and all them trying to power up and yelling all the time, but you know.
Well, they could always like put a shield around them while they're focused because I mean,
That is true.
the Saiyans are strong, but they're not gonna be. Their shields have taken more damage than punches and hit from Saiyans like a Saiyan strength. So they'll be able to hold the shield long enough to be able to focus on something.
Well, you gotta think about this, though. It's like, sure, the Green Lanterns are powerful, but then again, the Saiyans, as it's been proven, their strength increases during the battle or whenever they reach a near-fatal injury, which is kind of, some people might say it's broken, which kind of technically it would be if they didn't have to face a new powerful enemy every 20 episodes.
Yeah.
And it's funny, as Krillin, as I quote from the abridged series, hacks. I call hacks.
Hacks! I call hacks!
So, yeah, it's actually very, very, very unfair for them to be able to, power up essentially every time they nearly die and or die, depending on which character it is.
But the problem with that is they power up when they nearly die, but they're nearly dead. So as long as they take them out right then.
But I mean, even then, their
won.
power raises exponentially as they fight as well. So I mean,
Exactly. Like in one episode where everybody thought that Frieza was dead, Goku was pretty much out of energy at that point. Upon witnessing the death of his best friend Krillin, that's when
he transformed
to a Super Saiyan.
Second Super Saiyan.
A second Super Saiyan, and
Dude,
his power level increased tenfold of what his original would have been, and just freaking went berserk on Frieza.
On kind of like a side note, which do you think would be better for this kind of fight? Would you think Gohan or Broly? Or not Broly, Bardock. Because Broly, that'd be way too OP.
Yeah. Gohan and Bardock. Well, you gotta think. Bardock, he was actually... He was the original Super Saiyan. Yeah. But Gohan, on the other hand, Gohan, he... best way I could describe it is that as a kid, he never want to fight. He would only... Whenever his anger would, like, explode, his power level would jump to, like, about as strong as, like... Well, think of how strong Vegeta was when he first went up against Frieza. Think of how strong he was then. And he was able to knock down Frieza in his final form in one of the episodes. So, yeah, think how powerful he would have become later on. And it's actually been proven in the Cell Saga when, upon witnessing the pain that his friends were receiving and the death
as well as the death and speech of 16.
Of Android 16, that's when his ultimate power just came out and he became a Super Saiyan 2. But later in the Buu saga, it's actually been proven that it wasn't his ultimate power. It was just lying dormant. Which means we've only been seeing glimpses of it until the old Kai brought it fully out, and his power was just off the charts. In fact, when he was Mystic Gohan, he was actually as strong as Goku was as a Super Saiyan 3. So you gotta imagine, Gohan may well be the most powerful Saiyan there is.
That's just he was 11 at the time.
Yeah.
Until he turned to Mystic Gohan, and then
Yeah.
He was like what I would guess like 23, something like that.
Give it to
19.
16.
Nah, he was not 16. He was a little older than that.
Yeah.
Maybe 17.
Well, he was in high school, so yeah, I think.
So yeah, it's about 17, 18.
Yeah, it's about that. Yeah, about that age.
And then you got the Green Lanterns, who are, as you know, they're basically the only police force kind of guys that patrol the entire universe and give order to the entire universe. So they're known around the universe to be holders of peace and holders of You want to mute your phone there, bruh?
Sorry, I'm playing him in Trivia Crack.
God. holders of peace and holders of order, and to be able to hold, like, they give one person a whole sector, which is like literally a sector is basically like the universe as we know it. Like the universe we know it would like be one sector, and they give one person all of that to guard. So the Green Lantern's rings are intensely powerful, and they're strong enough, basically as strong as the man's will and imagination is how strong that person is. So I think it would be a great match. And like Terrence said, that they power up, like Terrence and JT both said, they power up. Saiyans power up as they get beaten more and they're near death. But Green Lanterns, their rings do run on power and energy.
They do deplete after time.
So they do deplete after a time.
It's just how long
it's a long time to last, and they can always call upon. By saying the Green Lantern Oath, they can always call upon the major power battery on Oa to give them more energy. And that has been like, it could be tremendous amount of energy, like enough to blow up a planet, or it could just be enough to, like knock someone out for a few hours. So it all depends.
All right. Nah.
Or just do a scratch to Goku's face.
All right. Let's start by naming off the weaknesses of each of the characters.
The what?
The weaknesses, like
weaknesses,
like the Green Lanterns.
Dude,
well, like
I'll take Vegeta.
Like I got Vegeta.
I got Vegeta, nigga. I got Vegeta.
Anyway, like Colton said about the Green Lanterns, it's like their power does last, but eventually they will need to recharge, and it's like once kind of like the Saiyans figure out how they do that, what's the chance of them letting them do that again?
Well, it only takes like literally a second to touch the battery, and their rings are fully charged.
And then you gotta think, and then we have the
sensu beans.
It's like that's like a major factor. It's like if the Saiyans don't have
if they got sensu beans, there ain't no way.
Yeah. But then again, you can also thank the Green Lantern's ring. If they knew what a sensu bean is, they can literally create anything.
Though? I mean, what are the odds?
If they see, like if Kyle Rayner sees someone use a sensu bean, he can literally ask his ring, "Hey, what is that? What is it made out of?" and everything like that, and then he can literally recreate it just right there with his ring if he focuses hard enough, and then it'll give him the same amount of energy and the same amount of power as a normal sensu bean would.
Right. Yeah. And then we get on to the weaknesses of the Saiyans. We'll start with Prince Vegeta. Now, as everybody knows about Vegeta, he's basically the cockiest Saiyan you could ever meet, because like in the abridged series, and I quote, "I am the hype." That would be Vegeta. Now, the only weakness I can think for Vegeta.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Which one of the following planets is the biggest one? And it said Uranus.
We're sorry, my colleague is playing trivia crack.
Dude, it makes me feel like I'm on crack. I swear.
Anyway, about one of the weaknesses for Vegeta is the fact that his Saiyan pride gets the best of him, and it actually makes him foolish in the process. Because in the series, whenever like take Cell for instance, when Vegeta was beating on Cell mentioned that if he was in his perfect form, Vegeta would stand no match, which kind of intrigued Vegeta, because like all Saiyans, he loves the thrill of the fight, and why not fight against a strong opponent, which actually led to him getting the crap beat out of him, in which case, not a smart move, Vegeta. While Goku, on the other hand, about the only weakness I could probably think of is his appetite.
Well, you gotta think, and just like you said on Vegeta, it's the Saiyan morals that if you have a good fight on your hands, you're gonna take it regardless if you know you're gonna lose or you're gonna win. They're gonna take it no matter what, and that can definitely be considered as a weakness, just because they're going into a fight they know they can't win, but they're doing it just for the thrill of it. Then
because the thing about Goku is
they're kind of self-explanatory there.
Yeah,
Goku isn't very intelligent either. I mean, he's only
had like 2-3 years of schooling.
Yeah, he's not very intelligent, and like you said, Goku, he wants the best possible fight against him that he can have. So he'll do anything to make sure that, like you said, the power battery depletion or something. He wants his enemy to be at their full potential when he fights them.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean. that's another kind of weakness Goku could have.
And then you have Gohan. Now, it depends on which Gohan you're looking at, because if this was a younger version of Gohan, he would kind of be hesitant because
naive.
Yeah. Now, if this was Mystic Gohan, he would have absolutely like no problem taking somebody out, because when he became Mystic, his like he became so confident. It's like, if you've seen what he did to Majin Buu, you can see why he was that confident. But other than that, Gohan, the only weaknesses I can think of is like he'd be too kind-hearted, too gentle to try and kill someone unless his family was really in danger. That's about the only thing I can think of.
Say another kind of along the same line is that he would be. I mean, he does have a sense of like what his father has, and he has okay, if you promise you're not going to do this, I'll take your word for it and I'll let you go kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But not as much as that is he's never at his full power unless he is
angry,
completely lost it. And there are only 4 or 5 times in the whole series that he actually loses it, and multiple of them aren't even during combat situations, like training with Piccolo, you name it, the Saiyan attack, which was, I guess you could be considered one, but I guess not really, just because it was the Great Ozaru. But he's never really at full potential unless he is completely angry. So I think that's kind of a weakness against himself that he really has no control over.
Pretty much. Now we move on to the strengths of each characters. Seeing as how me and JT, well, he knows all about the Saiyans as well as the DC with the Green Lanterns, everything.
I don't know a lot about the Green Lanterns, honestly. I've seen Justice League too many times, but I haven't done a ton of research on it.
He's out for the Green Lanterns. While Colton,
I know everything
he knows everything on Green Lanterns, so he will name the strengths for you, and me and JT will handle the Saiyans.
Okay, so I pulled up the Green Lanterns motto for you because it's not just a motto. They use it to literally gain power whenever they need it, and they're not close enough to their power battery. So I mean, literally all they have to say, and it's not super long, but it's time consuming to say it. But it's in brightest
day. It's kind of hard to say when you're getting punched in the face and having a fish shame down.
But yet it's been done. Yeah. It has been done before, and all they have to say is, in brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light. And the basis of that is, which is another thing about Green Lanterns, is, their whole circle around, the whole point that they actually have the ring is because they have so strong willpower and to keep going and, don't be afraid of anything and stuff like that. So the Green Lantern Corps there's millions, if not trillions, of Green Lanterns in existence. So I mean, if you think about it, but we're only doing these 3 Green Lanterns, and they're the three of the 5 Green Lanterns of Earth, and to me they're the strongest of the 3 because Guy Gardner is so cocky that he's literally been given the ring of powering of fear and rage because the rings just don't know what he really is. Yeah. Because he's so cocky and he's so stupid. But then Hal Jordan, on the other hand, has gotten the blue ring of hope, the white lantern ring, which I don't truly know what it is, what it's to. But Green Lanterns, Hal Jordan has also got the Green Lantern ring of lust, and the Green Lantern ring of love, and the Green Lantern ring of the orange one. Crap. It's greed. And then there's different specs of each person's character, but their willpower is purely the strongest because they always remain Green Lanterns. And the power of a Green Lantern is always tested by their will and their focus. A Green Lantern ring said by the Oas, the Guardians on Oa, and who have been living for trillions of years and basically can't die, who created the lanterns and the power battery, have stated that the Green Lantern ring can literally do anything as long as they focus hard enough and they are able to imagine it. So, I mean, literally the Green Lantern's power it could possibly be untouchable and endless as long as them themselves are able to do it and focus on it. which, I mean, they haven't done much, but it is possible. And then another Green Lantern strength is if they're ever around a blue lantern or a blue power battery, it gives them a double power up. Like, it would be like if Goku went Super Saiyan 4 would basically be like what a Green Lantern is around a blue power battery. So, I mean, there's always, like, different stuff, like, because then Fear, if they're around a yellow lantern, it, like, depletes them a little bit. They're not as strong. So it's always different, can be different things around it.
Do you want to take the Saiyans, or do you want to kind of split it half-half? Do you want me to start off? Do you want to start off?
We can split this half-half.
All right.
Now,
you want to do like not necessarily a quick one, but a medium length one on each of them, and then we kind of switch off and kind of.
Yeah, I can do that. Okay. Now, the strengths of the Saiyans. Let's start with Vegeta. Now, even though his pride gets the best of him, he is the second most powerful Saiyan there is. Well, I should say third, considering Gohan, but still, he is extremely powerful. I mean,
full-blooded Saiyan.
Yeah, he's one of the more powerful full-blooded Saiyans there is. He's continued to reach new levels of power. In fact, in the movie Battle of Gods, even as a Super Saiyan, when Beerus slapped his wife Bulma, he became stronger than Goku was as a Super Saiyan 3. It was able to land a hit on Beerus, in which Goku...
And as well take a hit from him, too.
Exactly, in which case Goku was rendered useless because Beerus was so powerful. While Goku, on the other hand, he's just a natural. He constantly continues to power up. It's like he doesn't stop. His power continues to grow. Like in the Buu Saga, he reached not only Super Saiyan 2 but Super Saiyan 3 at that, and was a pretty much dead even match for Majin Buu. And I'm not talking
in fat form, at least. I
mean, and in kid form.
Yeah, because you got to think it in fat form, Kid Buu at least, or not Kid Buu, but
Fat Buu.
Yeah, Fat Buu.
Yeah.
I think it was one point Goku actually mentioned that he could have taken him out. That why didn't I take that chance when I had it?
Exactly. And then you have Gohan, who, even though his anger sometimes gets the best of him, it's actually made him a lot more powerful than any of the DBZ characters, any of the Saiyans really. Because like in the Frieza saga, there were times where Frieza ticked him off so much. Like when he attempted to kill Krillin, he went berserk and completely laid Frieza out.
I'm 100% dead, half soul.
It's like like I said before, even when he fought Final Form Frieza, he was able to knock Frieza down. Even though it didn't hurt Frieza, he was able to knock him down.
Yeah, he was at least able to land some punches on him that meant something.
Exactly.
Vegeta couldn't touch him. I mean, third form
for nothing. And then
that happened.
Yes, it did. And then in the Cell Saga, oh my God, everybody knows.
You see him go ascended in that one episode.
Oh yeah, he goes. Gohan actually became, even though Trunks, Vegeta, and Goku actually became Ascended Saiyans, it reached nothing to level of power that Gohan reached when he fought against Cell. Like he was super ascended. Oh yeah, he was the first one to become Super Saiyan 2, the youngest Super Saiyan 2 ever in the history of Dragon Ball Z. And then you get to the Buu Saga, where his power becomes released by the old Kai and becomes Mystic Gohan, which actually makes him as strong, but not just as powerful. Just as strong as Goku was as a Super Saiyan 3, if not as powerful. Yeah, so Gohan, he would actually be considered, if not the second most powerful Saiyan in all DBZ. JT, you want to take it from here?
Yeah, sure. Who else did you cover? You covered Vegeta, Goku, and Gohan, or just Vegeta and Gohan?
Vegeta, Goku, and Gohan.
Okay, so I might touch up on some points that Terrence did as well, as maybe add to them, or just completely, because I'm zoned out there halfway through, no offense. I was playing some games, on the phone, but Vegeta, like Terrence said, his pride, and it not only is a weakness to him, but is also a massive strength to him. Not for quite the reasons Terrence said, but along the same lines. But his pride isn't going to let him lose a battle, but if he does lose a battle, which we see him lose countless times, even though it hurts me to say that because he's my absolute all-time favorite DBZ character, every time he gets defeated, his pride won't accept that, so he has to keep training to hit that level that he wasn't in that last fight. So you got to think his pride is what's driving him to become better each and every fight. Gohan is just about the same, but like I said, his weaknesses can definitely overpower his strengths. But he's got a great head on his shoulders. He's arguably just like his dad. He knows how to fight, and he knows how to fight well.
Yes, he does.
But then again, it goes back to his weaknesses. He's not able to tap into that full power unless if he is mad. But he continues to be a strong link in the chain, I guess you could say, in the whole group, just because of the fact that he's grown up training with Goku. So I mean, that in itself is something to take into consideration, that he knows a lot of the attacks that his father does, and the fact that he can keep up with him in training. Now Goku, his weaknesses versus his strengths too. He has a few more weaknesses than I would say strengths, but still he has the ability to take out pretty much anybody he wants. Like Terrence said over here, he's always powering up. There's really no stopping him. The limits for any of them really are limitless. So that's why I said in one of the last podcasts that when they come out with the new series, there are at least going to be maybe two or three possible new transformations that we might be able to see. Hopefully. But Goku definitely has determination, which is one thing in any fighter that you want to see, is determination to win that fight. Not only to get in it and do well, but to win it no matter what, whatever it takes. He's gonna get it done. And the mix of that determination and the powering up all the time, that's going to lead to a very strong fighter. And even though he has not gone through a lot of school, and he's not the brightest bulb on the Christmas tree or the sharpest knife in the drawer, he's a very good fighter. He's very skilled with it, not only physically but mentally. It's like it's not geared for actual learning, but it's geared for fighting. If he inspects his opponent fighting someone else, he can pretty much figure out exactly what he's going to do the next fight. He's just like his fighting forms, being able to like memorize every single one of them, and still goes back to that determination, being able to get it back down. All of that kind of mixed together makes him an ideal fighter, in my opinion. So
yeah, pretty much. So now we get to the main event. Who would win in this fight? Personally, I pick the Saiyans.
I personally pick the Green Lanterns. I love the Saiyans. The Saiyans are some of the strongest people in literally any universe. But the pure fact that the Green Lanterns, if they focus hard enough, can basically do anything with their rings, I have to give it to the Green Lanterns. They have fought opponents as strong, if not stronger, than the Saiyans and come out on top, sometimes easily, sometimes not so easily. So it always can be a different fight, depending on, what scenario, where they're at, and different things like that. But I have to give it to the Green Lanterns because of their will and their strive of success, and just how many awesome battles they've done with opponents that are just as strong as the Saiyans.
You'll pick JT?
I've got to call this bout off as a draw. It's not dead even, but if they were to come, together and have to fight, I think it would be absolutely just hair close.
Oh yeah.
It wouldn't be exact, but it would be so close that it probably wouldn't even matter.
Yeah, because it can go like either way. Different scenarios.
On the scale, it tips either way at the point.
Exactly.
Just because Green Lanterns, like you said, they can do anything with their rings. And like we were discussing before, right? I think earlier on, or if I don't even remember if it was in this before we started recording, but it might be earlier on. We were talking about how the Saiyans, hey, they could pop back a sensu bean and they'd be fine for like the rest of the day until they have to pop like another one.
Yeah.
Which in in response, Colton came up with the thing: if they can get the shield up, then if they focus hard enough, they can get a sensu bean.
Mm-hmm.
So.
They can get a sensu bean, and like the sensu bean kind of deal would be the same as like if a
Any
Green
other
Lantern
thing.
was getting his power battery too. So it'd be kind of be like the recharging for both of them.
So
And I may
so
sound like,
it in all honesty, I think I call it a draw.
yeah.
I call it a draw.
Yeah, you guys bring up some very valid points. Also, to bring up one, I may get a lot of flack for this, but I also want to take the fact that due to the new Battle of Gods movie, and I know I might sound like a freaking one side of this, but if Goku, now in the movie, Goku's able to freely, after taking so much damage, he was able to freely become Super Saiyan God. We gotta put that into factor now. This new transformation and everything. I'm not saying he may use that in battle, but if the time comes, he may actually do that. You know.
Now are we calling in terms of just that, or are we calling in terms of old attacks as well, like Golden Dragon Fist? Because if he used Golden Dragon Fist on any of the Green Lanterns, it'd be done.
Oh,
it'd be over
much,
like that.
Pretty much.
But he can.
Like in the
he has
Dragon.
like almost like quote unquote a cooldown for that ability. I guess you could say he has. It's a very draining attack, and he's not able to just use it one after another.
Exactly, which means it would have to be a direct hit. But like we said, like JT said, it would be a draw. You know, I picked the Saiyans. I mean, not because I like the Green Lanterns. I love the Saiyans, but you gotta. But I'm just saying the Saiyans will win because you gotta think about it. Their power continues to increase, and if put in that situation, they may actually become more powerful than the Green Lanterns. In which case, the Lanterns become overpowered. Colton, he himself chooses the Green Lanterns. I'm sure it's like nothing biased. He's just he knows more about it.
Yeah, none of us are in our picking. No. We're not trying to be biased. If we are,
we like both of them. Yeah,
exactly. Nobody's being biased in this. We just want to put that into a factor. None of us are being biased in these podcasts. We're just stating the facts of what we know
about them.
Exactly.
I mean, honestly, I love Dragon Ball. I grew up with Dragon Ball, but I also grew up with Justice League too. So I grew up with the Green Lantern.
Exactly.
And
I mean, I really, no matter what, I can't be biased to either. I mean, I loved both of them growing up. So.
And another thing I forgot to say earlier about the Green Lanterns is you have to also account like the Super Saiyans can be immensely fast, but the Green Lanterns can literally fly to other universes within minutes. You know, they can fly to like
Goku's instant transmission.
Goku's instant transmission, flying from our universe to like one. You know, we don't even know how far away in like 3, 5, 4 minutes. Mm-hmm. That is basically instant transmission.
Yeah,
pretty much about it.
And actually, when you think about it, it's explained in the show as the speed of light, but Akira Toriyama says it's exactly what it's called is instant transmission. Exactly. And it's transmission from one place to another. Doesn't matter the distance as long as he can focus in on that energy, which is another factor is he has to be able to focus on that energy. Like in the Buu saga, when he destroys, I believe it's not the eldest guy, you know what Kai I'm talking about, the Kai planet.
It was this king. It was a North Kai.
Was it the North Kai's planet?
I think it was.
Was it the North Kai or was it Supreme Kai's planet?
No, the Supreme Kai's planet was destroyed. King Kai's planet was destroyed in the fight with Cell.
Not Cell, but the one with Buu.
Oh, the one with Buu, Kid Buu. He never really destroyed that Kai's planet.
I thought he destroyed Supreme Kai's. Well, when you see the huge that was Earth they were on.
Yeah, he destroyed Earth.
When he was trying to out of there. He had the kids, and it was Vegeta, and he had thrown his biggest attack, and they're being chased by it, and he's trying to do the instant transmission, but he just couldn't find anybody else's energy to lock onto.
Exactly.
So there he was no way to get out of that. So that's another factor, though, is he has to be able to focus on where he wants to go.
Yeah.
Now, I think we have wrapped up a lot in this one, coming up in 30 minutes here.
Mm-hmm.
Any final words, boys, or are we able to wrap this up?
The only last thing I'm gonna say is, like JT's been saying, it's all about the factors of on this battle. It's all about the factors of where they are, like how much the Green Lanterns focus, how, ticked off the Saiyans are, it's like it all depends on variables. So, I mean, it could really go either way. And, we're not being biased or anything. We honestly believe, we, look it up, we know these characters, and we honestly believe, who we say would win, we honestly believe they'd win. And the only reason I say Green Lanterns is because, like I said earlier, they can create literally almost anything. And now if they couldn't do that, they could only create a certain amount of things, I would give this instantly to the Saiyans, because they're so powerful. But the fact that if they concentrate hard enough, the Green Lanterns can create literally almost anything. I'm just barely giving it to them, but I mean, it can go literally either way, depending on the variables of where they are, what's going on in the fight, and a multiple of different things.
Well,
anything for you, Terrence?
I think that's pretty much it.
All right, so final decisions, final verdict.
Saiyans.
Lanterns.
Even battle.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Will we ever find out who wins this epic collision? Hopefully, we'll find out in the near future. But as always, I'm Terrence Russell.
Colton Swartz.
JT Van Dyke.
And this has been the Exiled Entertainment Podcast. And as always, we will see you in the next podcast. Bye-bye.